Okay, so now we're going to solve the same systems of equations, but now by substitution. So for the sake of making it the easiest, we're going to use the original two equations in the format that we had them. One was in slope-intercept form and the other one in standard form. So now what substitution practically means is if y equals 6x minus 11, then we can say that we can substitute 6x minus 11 into your other equation where y is at. So since they equal each other, we can remove this y on the second equation and plug in 6x minus 11. Or instead of plugging in mathematically, the correct term is substitute. So therefore, that means that we're going to have everything else the same. Negative 2x, so I'm going to start over here so we have enough space. So it's negative 2x minus 3, but now we're not going to plug in y. We're going to plug in what y equals on the other equation, which is, we need to separate by parentheses, and we need to put 6x minus 11, close the parentheses, and then that equals to negative 7. So our first step that we need to do after this is called distributive property. So we need to distribute this negative 3 by multiplying it to the 6x and then the negative 3 multiplying it to the negative 11. So let's bring everything else down, negative 2x, and now negative 3 times 6x is negative 18x. Negative 3 times negative 11, that's positive 33, and then we have negative 7. So practically what we're doing right now is, you know how we found x to be 2 on our graph and y to be positive 1? That's basically exactly what's going to happen here. We're going to find the exact same solutions because it's just 3 different methods to guide you to find the same solution. So now let's combine like terms. We could combine negative 2x with negative 18x because they both have the variable x. So that would be you owe me 2, you owe me 18, you owe me a total of 20 x's plus 33 equals negative 7. Now we do the inverse operation of positive 33, which is negative 33. To keep your equation balanced, you need to do what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Then we got to bring down this negative 20x, and now you owe me 7, you owe me 33. That means you owe me 40. So now our last step is to divide both sides by negative 20, and we find that x equals, my little lucha libre man says that a negative divided by a negative is always a positive. So therefore, 40 divided by negative 20 is going to be a positive 2, which is what we found when we did the graphing, right? And now what we're going to do, we found x to be positive 2. Now we need to plug that in or substitute it into one of your equations. So if you notice, the first equation is the easiest one. You could plug it into either one, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the exact same solution. But for the sake of keeping it simple, we're going to plug in the 2 into the first one. So instead of putting x, we're going to substitute the 2. And a number next to a variable means to multiply. So don't just put 62. It means multiply 6 times 2 and then minus the 11. So that's going to be y equals 12 minus 11. So therefore y equals 1, which is what we found in our graphing. So our order pair always says put it in order. That's why it's called an order pair. X always goes first, then y. We found x to be 2. And we found y to be 1, and that is your solution, which represents the point of intersection of these two equations. And we had seen it already in the other part in graphing. And there it is. That is substitution for you. La la.